Okay, we are seeing here a game I played in the Minekaze. It was top tier. I am currently regrinding the Japanese gunboat DD line, so that's why I'm playing her again. And as we can see, we are facing 2 carriers on each side and 2 destroyers. But as I am top tier here, I'm not facing any radar, and thus it should be fairly easy. I immediately hit the speed boost to get up there as fast as possible. We can see the team is spreading out, and yeah. So far I only have the Omaha with me, and I think I looked shortly on my WhatsApp at this moment, but any moment we'll see the first thing happening. And this is here, the enemy fighters appear. So I see, okay, they're coming right at me, which means I need to do something. There are 2 options. I can either smoke right away, or I can try to dodge it. And my idea here was to go behind the island to make it harder for him to see me, but unfortunately I fucked it up here a little and ran into the island. But as we can see, let me make it open here, he missed the drop and tries to line up for a second time. Now I could have smoked up here, but the thing was I didn't want to smoke up outside of the cap, because I only have 3 smokes and I would rather try to cap with it. Now getting out here, and the wakeful is immediately spotted. I shoot at him, and it's not accurate what we see here, but I basically shoot 3 torpedoes, and as I'm getting targeted by 3 and the planes are still above me, I smoke up. Thing is, as you can see here, he has a fighter bomber unit going over me and doesn't even bother to drop a fighter plane. And unfortunately, this is something we will see happening more often. I thought here that the shots were coming more from the right, but yeah, apparently I still barely hit him. Now here I make the risky choice. First of all, I need to move out of the smoke because I expect him to have torqued me again. And secondly, he must be almost dead, so I wanted to spot him. Shoot, get a decent salvo for a Minekaze, but he's starting to fire back, and unfortunately not just him, and I have no idea whose salvo this was, because it hurt so much. Yeah, and I didn't see the Phoenix shoot. It was probably the October Revolution which hit me here before he went through the behind the island. So I'm now in. This looks kind of weird. I'm now in the cap and in the smoke, but the smoke is running out. I'm trying to cap here now. So, seeing the fighter coming from this way, from behind, I sped forward, and we can see again both carrier planes are above me, and none of them bothers to drop a fighter plane. I'm now shouting to get help. But apparently they don't bother. I'm getting a little annoyed here because I'm about to get spotted again, and the fact that he wasn't able to hit me the first time with his planes doesn't change that. First of all, he might be more successful the next time, and secondly, he's getting me spotted, and we can see I'm already being targeted by 1, and here was a decent rocket hit on me, and I'm already down to 2,500. Now I can say a lot of that was due to me getting that wakeful killed, which is probably quite true. And here we see more shells coming in at me, which is probably quite true. But if the carriers had done their job, well, that wouldn't have been necessary. So we are already down 3 ships. I'm down to 1,500 HP. And here I see, okay, I should get away a little from the, what is it, Giulio Cesare. So the Omaha doesn't hit me, either by choice or by accident while he's shooting at the Giulio Cesare. With the Phoenix kiting back there and the October Revolution up there, I thought it's about time I need to try to get some caps. We are down 2 ships. While we are still leading in caps, they are going to take cap C, and it is my mission now to try to do something to save the game in some ways. So for instance, this here, he obviously, as we can see, he obviously listens to commands, but I have no idea why he ignores them. Why both carriers ignore what's in the chat. It's kind of a mystery to me. And the problem is I can't cap B. I don't have concealment expert on that captain. It's only a 4 or 5 point captain at this point. And which means I only have 1 kilometer of distance between my spotting and the torpedoes, which is okay, but actually not that much if you calculate the turning circle in. So if you're heading towards a ship and turn away, then it can get quite tight. And of course, while the Bretagne went in a straight line all the time, now as soon as I shoot torpedoes, he starts turning. So I think what I am now thinking of what I could do. I need to shoot someone to do damage. We are still down in ships. We are now down in caps, and the game doesn't show it here, but I actually selected the Congo. I saw him moving in, so while my torpedoes only have a 7 kilometer range, it was obvious that he will come in range if he continues on a straight line, and here I was just hoping for him to continue on a straight line. So the torpedoes are out, and I'm now getting trouble to get away because the Congo is pretty fast. And as we can see, he is closing in a lot. And that is actually, I still shoot basically on the prediction line. I think it showed a different ship as a target, because I think the Congo actually kept going a straight line even after being hit. And as we can see, he's even flooding. This is unfortunately something I missed. I still missed it. And at that point I actually got greedy, which is not ideal. Now he's eating 2 more torpedoes, and I'm really lucky here because he's even eating a second flooding. So that should be fine now, but here I decide, yeah, I need to speed it up and make sure I get the kill, so I open fire in hope getting a fire on him. But obviously I'm getting targeted immediately, so I have no choice but to smoke up. And we see the Omaha coming in from the back. So if that guy knows what he's doing, I might be in trouble. But the Congo is about to go down. And obviously not by me. So there are 2 ships now that I basically got killed, which were taken away from me in the very last moment where I did all the damage. This should be 2 kills by now, but unfortunately it's not. So I now think what to do, and yeah, the Omaha might charge me. That guy is not coming down, let's push out. I might face the Omaha here, so I turn broadside in case I need to torpedo. But he's continuing on a straight line down. I guess he hoped for carriers there that he wanted to hunt. But that doesn't help us. While we are now only down 1 ship, we are still down in caps. And we are down 2 ships. and they are already leading. Now luckily we got one kill, but we're still down. Trying to predict the turn of the Congo here, but unfortunately, no, not to predict, I was hoping he's just turning a little to the side and not going behind the island. Obviously there was no way of hitting him, and here I thought I could shoot him, because first of all the Omaha doesn't look at me, he doesn't look at me either, and if I was really lucky I might have made him turn, but as I looked on the minimap I saw that the Omaha was outside of my firing range, so the very moment the Congo disappears behind the island I get unspotted, which meant that there was basically no risk to me in shooting. Okay, so we see they are still fighting in the south. I think about the Bretagne. That's the guy I wanted to torpedo in the beginning. And but who turned away? And now it seems like he's going to come through the island gap. And if he continues on a straight line, I might surprise him with some nice torpedoes. I look on the minimap and see that the Omaha is closing in pretty fast. So I need to make sure that he doesn't spot me. Here about now I'm selecting him as a target and torpedo a small spread along the prediction line. Now I shoot a small spread because he is quite agile, and if I shoot a wide spread he might find a gap in between, so the goal is to shoot the torpedoes close enough to each other that he doesn't have a time to it's harder for him to get in between the gaps. But and I moved behind the island to not get spotted, but as we can see, he either didn't dodge at all or he didn't dodge successfully. And the Bretagne shows again that he's probably also somebody who is regrinding, because he is actively moving all the time. He realizes when he gets spotted, and he is not stupid, so I guess he saw the torpedoes coming, which means he now knows that I'm still down there somewhere, so he does the intelligent thing by turning away, changing course, making it impossible for me to torpedo him right away. So we are still down in caps. We are now, thanks to me, down only one kill, but they are already at 720 points. Okay, now the Phoenix got killed by the Hosho, which gives us some breathing space, but they are still closing in on the point threshold, so I need to get into the cap. I look on the minimap, I see the Congo is running away and outside of my spotting range, so I can go into the cap. At this moment, I think he was still a little bit in the cap, but now just moving out. So in worst case, I would have at least blocked their points gain, whereas now I'm actually capping. My aim was now to look whether I can get torpedoes into the Courbet, and we lose another ship. Now it's 5 against 7. We are down 2 ships again. They are at 800 points now, and I'm still at my 1480 points. Here I try to communicate with the carriers again. While I'm capping. Now I'm writing it in German, because many players here are German in this game, and maybe they don't know English. So I tried a different language, and then, oops, shit. I didn't expect the Courbet to turn around completely. So I smoke up as soon as I can. That was really risky. I could have died here. And I shoot torpedoes along the prediction line. A small spread, as we can see. I don't change to guns, so he doesn't see his the indicator change and how many people target him, which would be an indication. But he turns anyway. So I think, oh, god damn it, now it's getting close, and I don't have adrenaline rush, so there is no faster reload thanks to the low HP. I only have the disadvantages, which basically means he has to look at me mean and I explode. I shoot one salvo, one launcher. Now the second one. think. Yep. And I keep another one in reserve in case he rushes me, but he doesn't turn away and both torpedoes hits and he's done. Now I realize, damn it, the Britannia is now pushing in again. I have two options. I can either run away and I could have probably gone behind the island, right? Yeah, it would have been time. But I choose not to increase the distance, but rather use my speed to get get between the islands here. So I stay in torpedo range because we are still running out of points and running out of ships. And of course, the carrier appears. Me going out of my smoke. He had apparently waited outside of it. So I'm not only spotted now, but I also can expect to be hit. I think I expect to die here, so I try to get out as many torpedoes as possible in case the Britannia pushes forward in a straight line, and I mean, somewhere they have to go somewhere. He has to go somewhere if he continues there. And we see I have 2 torpedo hits now, which is a good amount of damage. And he's actually flooding for a moment, which is also really nice. Again, in case he pushes around, I shoot torpedoes, and all the time I expect to die. So it's just pump out as many torpedoes in case the Britannia comes around, so I can hopefully kill him. Now the Hosho finally manages to kill someone else. We're now even on points, even on ships, and thanks to me we have the 2 caps. But they're still leading and our HP isn't too great, especially mine. And the fact that our carriers ignore it completely to drop fighter planes is really frustrating the hell out of me. So here I decide now to go around the island and to protect B, because I expect them to push into B to stop the points gain, at least if they know what they're doing. The Britannia was able to repair, but we are at 109,000 damage now, which means he has taken quite the amount of damage. So I'm pushing around and gonna be surprised somewhat in a very short time. Now we're leading in points, by the way. But as you can see, my team is basically all huddled up behind there. The Furutaka and that guy are missing. And yeah, we see I shoot 1 torpedo, and then I realize, damn it, he's far out of range, so they're not going to hit. I actually can go into gun range, but should I shoot? Should I expose myself? Oh, he writes, we level 4 don't have fighters. Really? They don't have fighters? Oh, okay. Well, as I got spotted by the planes, I started shooting because I was spotted anyways, and luckily that ship was basically done. I didn't even read that he says he doesn't have fighters. Well, that was a problem. And here I get spotted by plane for a moment, and the October Revolution seems to have secondary build. And even though I got spotted, he spots me, he should realize that I entered the cap, as he wasn't able to cap through. He goes on a straight line. So, yep. That's it. I got Confederate, Devastating Strike and High Caliber. Unfortunately, thanks to the 2 kills that were taken away right the very moment before I could kill them myself, that means like no Kraken for me. But 132,000, and the time is running out, and we see, as the guy said, bullseye, basically congratulating me on killing him. I says he should move next time. Maybe he learns from something from it. It doesn't hurt me to give a complete beginner some tip. So yeah, that was it. I think a pretty good carry.